Hi guys, alright, I'm back. This is now part 3 of what turns out to be part 3 of this dossier. My screen recorder ended on its own. Now it is 12:01 p.m. on Sunday the 26th of October 2025 and Toowoomba, Queensland, Australia, and I don't even remember if I gave the date and time as I usually do on the part 2. Now, so we'll go back to where it cut out, which was, here we go. All right, so this is where we cut out on the previous part. You can read that. Yes, so as you are all familiar, we'll see it shortly, we were sent a funeral card for Father Giuseppe, and they expected us to memorialise him when Yah said, wait on, there's something stinks here, and we didn't do it, and it was like, you know, they were looking for it. The whole thing was disgusting. And either massive lies and a set up by the thugs from Argentina. The point is they were working on behalf of the Antichrist Francis. So, yes, so we got this from Andrew Pereira, and it was left, I think it was the 6th of December 2013. We were on our way back or about to leave Egypt to go back for 2 nights in Rome before flying back to Australia. So we responded with the Good Morning Pope Francis. That's right, we were still in Hurghada. Recorded it, uploaded it, and then as the transparency they were asking for over at the YouTube channel, of course we heard nothing. So, yeah, the story went on. His story. Alright, so, yeah, again, included in the dossier, I printed these and to draw attention to Yahweh's being so offended by all religion. And yeah, you can read that for yourself. Mentions the protocols of Zion. It a Talmud-inspired work of appalling evil, makes it clear in Protocol 14, we will forbid Christ. And then some writings state, candidly, if the Christians discover what we planned, they would kill us openly. Another states, if the Christian world wakes up, influenced by one lone genius, we will have lost. And of course, that is what is happening now with the rogue state called Israel. And it is not. Palestine has always been the Holy Land. So Yahweh proclaimed that over and over, and it always will be Palestine. So yes, you can read that Yah's words there. That was included. The kingdom is set up for evil. I reverse it, and we collectively build paradise for the children. So that is ahead of us. And everybody, the innocent who have been taken out during these wars and famines, and you've heard over the time that Yah has left Ezekiel's messages, that nothing is lost. It all returns to the Father. He knows and sees all, and that we alone, within our own circle of family and friends, to live in love, joy, and laughter, not to be dragged into what is playing out on the world stage. So it's with that comfort we know that the genocide within Palestine, those souls are safe. So are the souls of the meek all around the earth. They are safe. It's the leaders of the nations that Yahweh has always said that he judges. Now I'll stop again and go back to another page. All right. Here is Andrea Anna's Facebook page, and of course it was Andrea Anna who broke through to have the half-hour audience communicating directly with Pope Benedict himself. As I explained, she sent him the video and had a conversation, and she's the heroine here, and she also delivered the economic document to Ernst von, and I've forgotten, Ernst von somebody. She drove and delivered the document along with the apostolic letter into the hands of this man who was taking over the running of the Vatican Bank at the time. So Andrea Anna is a true heroine, and we love her. We had 2 weeks with her when we were in Germany. We landed in Frankfurt, spent 3 nights with Andrea Anna, drove to Turin, not allowed to get in and see Yah's shroud, of course, it's only for the church hierarchy, and then the time we had at Marino in our upper room apartment there. So Andrea Anna has recorded it all, and there's the traitor of all mankind in Georg Gans Swain in Freiburg. We were in Freiburg. All right, so this is the conversation. She has faithfully recorded it. It's a conversation between myself and Andrea Anna through their Facebook messaging, and me instructing and Anna reporting and doing everything that I suggested that she should do, and she absolutely did. She's amazing. And more, this is all from Andrea Anna. Up there, top right, is the funeral card of Father Giuseppe that was sent to us. The Scribd site, 66,000 views were removed overnight from the Scribd site from the reading of the apostolic letter that was uploaded in 27 different languages, and 10,000 from the English alone, and then they just removed, because Russia was getting up there really fast. I made an effort in 2014 to just drop the link over on Twitter into people's, and I was recording how fast it was going up. So yes, overnight 66,000. Now, of course, we all know the favourite number of the beast is the 6, the 666, but the 6 in particular. That's why the bogus 6 million, and it's their number. More on Andrea Anna's page, and there in the middle, the Archbishop of Canterbury. He actually responded to a Twitter where I dropped everything in, and I made a comment, and he gave it a like over on Twitter. So, but no response, of course. There's Father Giuseppe and the meeting, the Facebook page. There's Gans Swain. That was the email sent to us. I have that all printed here and on the records. Then Pope Benedict's ring, Peter. That was his ring. Francis did something strange. That's when he removed the pre-recorded video that Pope Benedict made after the communications. Benedict made a video recording that was to be added to the front of the documentary that he organised on the 3rd of March. So 8 days before we began communications, he went to Turin and organised with RAI TV the public showing documentary of the Shroud of Turin, his parting gift to the world. And then, having met Yah, he recorded the announcement that he'd met Yah and the apostolic letter. And that's what Sister Maria Della Rosa, her letter to us from October 25th, months later after she escaped Malta, let us know from her recollection what was in the recording. And then the video there in Italian and then English. Father Giuseppe was able to get to us just a bit over 3 minutes, calling out for Catholic people to pray for him. They realised that he'd become a prisoner in the Vatican like Pius IX. So Andrea Anna, faithful, and a really reliable witness and researcher of history, her own familial bloodline history, etc. So there are all the pages of the Facebook page. That now up here, top second from the left. That is from Jonas in Sydney, and it's 2014 September. He and his family had already planned a trip, so he took copies of the apostolic letter in English and Italian and just left them different places. But he confronted a German cardinal in St. Peter's Square there, and he put it in his face and saying, "Is this true? Is this true?" And Jonas reported that the cardinal said yes, and then said, "Poor Benedict." Why poor Benedict? Because they all knew, and that he was in between a rock and a hard place, now prisoner and kept under watch by his jailer, who was Ganswain. Certainly Francis had no regard for him. He treated him with disdain. That was obvious whenever they were in public. So Ganswain could have done the right thing. He could have broken his oath to the Antichrist, but no, he kept silence and then responded as, fairy tales, that kind of thing. So he's a traitor. Andrea Annas, and Yahweh signed. It was Michael Godbard in Canada who organised the electronic signing in Christum Credunt when he realised that it hadn't been signed. So he organised Pope Benedict, and so he's the witness too that Benedict was signed in Rome and Yah, and if anybody has signed anything electronically, it's really difficult to get a good signature going. So Yah just signed it, Almighty God Jesus Christ, AGJC, underneath Benedict. So, and Michael, he organised that. So, Andrea Anna's page, history recorded. More of the conversations recorded by Andrea Anna. And yes. All right, there's her page. Oh, and here, of course, is the announcement of the death of Giuseppe, April 13th, 2000, as he was supposedly escaping the house where he was under 24/7 guard by policemen, thugs, Argentinian thugs. Oh dear. And my response when I learned of it, I screamed, Karen, and then I started crying. It was a horrible morning learning of this. And of course our great hope was that it was a hoax. It was one of their, because the thugs bragged, wait till you see what Francis has got up his sleeves. Was this it? To shock us into the announcement of the death of, and the thugs themselves actually said, it's we who are the Antichrist, and that Francis just thinks that Benedict is a crazy theologian, because we were saying that Francis was the Antichrist, and of course he was. He is not the Antichrist, we are doing this. Well, he hired you. So this was, I sent this as well. This is a blanket that I had printed. Yahweh designed this flag, and I also have a flag that does fly at the back at the moment. It's been in the foyer leaning up against the back of the door there on its flagpole. And this is all the evidence. These are the Holy Father communications into Yahweh's Yahweh at linuxmail.org. And you can see the dates there. It's all 2013, 312, 311, 310, etc. Holy Father communications, here's more, Pope Benedict, responses, backwards and forwards live emails. And then you can see Lisa Damusi from Maria and the letter attached. Now, I ran that Damusi name backwards, and it comes out as "Is you mad?" And so I was really suspicious. Plus, there are a couple of details that she got wrong, which understandable, but I knew that they were inaccurate, just about the timing of the events that happened at Castel Gandolfo. But I mean, outside of that, again, but they were saints. They were certainly taken away. They were disappeared, and I would love that everybody's alive and well, and we'll see them shortly. Oh, there's the short video that was sent by Father Giuseppe calling out for help when Benedict realised he'd become a prisoner in the Vatican. Okay, so let's see, I'll stop again and then come back. All right, back again. So included in the dossier, of course, was the scanned images of each page of the Declaration and Notice of Claim. Two of them exist. One is in the archives at the palace, and this is the second, a scanned image of the second originals, just two originals. And yes, so that was included. That received by the Royal Court on the June the 14th, 2010. If you haven't read through it, read through it. It's really powerful. And again, it was actually Jeremy Voorhees in the USA who worked on the legal eagle side of things, and I worked with all the scriptures. And yeah, just now included as well 33 pages, 35 pages including the cover, sent to the High Court of Australia, but it was a copy of what I'd already faxed through to The Hague, the International Criminal Court at The Hague. And it explains there it goes, Information and Evidence Unit, Office of the Prosecutor at The Hague, faxed the 26th of January 2015, and it's an outline of the events that unfolded along with the evidences. Again, you can scroll through this. This is from the thugs, first in Italian and then English. What happened the night they raided the Castel Gandolfo. This email no longer belongs to the Pope Emeritus and will be deleted permanently after this update message is sent. Giuseppe Giavello is no longer a Catholic priest and has been relocated. We are not telling you where he is. Sister Maria della Rosa is still a Catholic nun, but has been moved to a convent outside of Italy. Well, in her letter, it was Malta. We are not saying where she is exactly. And she did say that because her native tongue is Italian, nobody spoke Italian there, so she had to communicate in English or Maltese, which she probably didn't speak. Archbishop Georg has sworn not to speak a word of you and is forced not to listen to what you say. The new pontifical household will consist of Pope Francis' former investigators, so these are the thugs. They are not priests and will tend to his needs, along with only a few nuns. He will have no contact with any of you. And then Monsignor Giovanni Rossini, he's another one who's vanished. He was the one who uploaded in Christum Credunt from Toronto because Giuseppe found he'd already been cut off from uploading in Rome, and has been relocated for sending in Christum Credunt. And so, yeah, you know, to find them all alive and well and just, you know, the subject of a giant hoax, that would be, oh, there's the Italian. All right, so this is all part of what I faxed through to The Hague. Yeah, and I say to this day, Father Giuseppe, Sister Maria della Rosa, and Monsignor Giovanni Rossini are missing. Father Giuseppe was reported shot dead at Casabili, Sicily on April 13th, 2013 by a man hired by Francis. Sicily, the place Giuseppe was taken to out of Lazio, to a house organised by Francis for holding him prisoner from where he tried to escape when he was gunned down. And of course that was all reported, and many of you, Michael and many of you, you know, were contacted by this friend, etc. It was that's right, Detective John Eleonora. Now, when I did a search on the photograph that was supposed to be Detective John, well, it was commonly found on the internet, so we began to doubt all of this as part of an elaborate hoax. This is what Francis had up his sleeves. And so we didn't go ahead with the memorial service, but it was still shocking because we believed that he had been gunned down. Now, Haley actually said that she was in communication, I don't know, this is now a couple of years ago, where somebody in a Catholic group said that Father Giuseppe is alive, etc. Well, great, but they didn't respond to Haley's further, like where? And so that was our dearest hope, that he, and I actually believe he is. I've asked Yah about this since he is on the other side and knows all, and I believe he is alive. So that is awesome. All right, so that's the pages of that goes into in Christum Credunt, etc. What was sent to The Hague, and then the High Court of Australia here. Now, this is Vatican III, the 49 canons that Yah wrote. His fingers were flying. Seriously, it took him 36 minutes to get his thoughts out on, and then I say it because it was true, it took me hours. It took me about 5 hours to edit and get it all so that we could understand Yah's thoughts. And Benedict was so pleased to receive it, so simple and straightforward, that he included 3 of the points in Christum Credunt. Right, so let's go over here. Oh, right, the close-up of the Facebook pages. Father Giuseppe uploaded the shroudi image in a place of honour, and he did that on March 12th, so 3/12, BLGM in 2013. This is a letter Yah wrote to David Weiss, who was communicating. Now, a Jewish historian out of the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, I think. And yeah, so Yah was, Rez was communicating with him, so Yah spent a lot of time responding to him. And again, you can slow this down and read it yourselves. Everything Yah did was just, well, from the source, as you would expect. And yes, I'm the editor, because Yah would say it's all in the numbers. Well, it's got to make sense. Plus, also in translating, and Yah finally gave up scolding me for changing. When I said, well, when you're translating anything, you must have the proper grammar and spelling so that it's an accurate translation. Otherwise, people are going, what? When you're translating into other languages. So he stopped giving me a hard time. After that, he realised the sense of that. But I know when I find things that have a spelling mistake in it, because I would say if it doesn't have a spelling mistake, it's not me. So I have found things that he has sent to me with deliberate spelling mistakes, because it's all in the numbers. Okay, right, and then finally the Book of Martha. All right, so I told you I'd updated that, and okay. Now, going over to, let's all right, calcium hypochlorite. Oh, sorry, so that's the overview of what was sent to Pope Leo. But getting over to my personal experience with protocols that we used in Fiji and Papua New Guinea is, of course, you've heard me talk about this many times, the calcium hypochlorite, and it's available very cheaply and easily in just about any swimming pool store on the planet. I get mine from Bunnings. This is my own experience, and I can only share this with you. There have been other experiences that are wonderful, but I can't share them with you. Let me see. Oh, now in Fiji. So this is 2011. We were on the North Island, and in the bure that we were given, Moo Resort. The star overhead was Moo when we boarded the ferry to get there, overnight ferry. And of course, we'd been treating so many people we stopped asking what was wrong with them, and having tremendous success. But this one morning I woke up and I knew I call it something's trying to get me. I was feeling, okay, something's trying to, what it was, I don't know. Usually starts in the throat, as you know. And so I filled an empty capsule, and I'll show you after this, an empty capsule with our supply of calcium hypochlorite. We picked it up locally in Nundy. Once we arrived there, we took into Fiji the 10,000 empty capsules. Yellow and red ones, I've still got some back there, but anyway. So I took a capsule, and it was probably half, because you start out small. On the fill side, start with perhaps a quarter or a half if you're game. Because the way it works is that it when it comes in contact with germs, pathogens and viruses, as it does in swimming pool water, it knocks out anything that's going to harm us. So, and you know, everything that goes into a swimming pool we absorb through our skin, and there is a rule of thumb that anything that can be absorbed without harm to us through our skin can certainly be tolerated when taken into our stomach with water. That's the goal, lots of water with it. Anyway, long story short, so I took a capsule, and for me, you know, within about 10-15 minutes, I did throw up into the coral sea. We were at about a 30-metre high coral cliff and hurled into the coral sea. And that was the end of whatever was trying to get me. I forgot about it and just went on with what it was that we were doing. Because, of course, we were coming into contact with people who were desperately ill. And something you can also look up yourselves where you are in the USA, many of you already know this, is colloidal silver, another part of our arsenal. You can make it yourself. Look up colloidal silver generator. Again, silver has been known for centuries to knock out germs, pathogens and viruses. As a matter of fact, Yah would say that when he told, Jesus speaking, the leper to go and bathe in the river Jordan, dip 7 times or whatever, it was silver present in the water that would knock out germs, pathogens, viruses, etc. So, yes, the calcium hypochlorite, that was my first experience with it. And most impressively, 2017, it was December 2017, so 8 years ago, I left this house to go to visit and stay with my daughter for 2 weeks, driving down. And I got really sick while I was away. Now, personally, I can't tolerate dust or mould from dried flowers. Australian wildflowers, they dry and they give off a mould. That has put me in hospital before with what I thought was recurring bronchitis year after year, and in the hospital. Well, while I was in the hospital, so this is now going back to 1990, April of 1990. I was in the hospital for a week at the time on Ventolin and oxygen. Because so after a week in the hospital, I regained my sense of smell, walked back into our house at that time, and then I could smell the dried flowers that I'd been given as gifts and just let them dry. Well, oh my gosh, they were causing this recurring year after year, bronchial asthma that I was suffering. So bagged everything up, threw it all into the garbage, and I did not have a problem since. So, fast forward, 7-8 years ago, 2017, I'm now under the same conditions, asthmatic, and just the thing that got me through, and of course I'm away from home, so I wasn't with our arsenal. By the time I got home after 2 weeks, what got me going was a black coffee first thing in the morning, getting out of my daughter's house, sitting on the deck, and I could breathe while in my car with the air conditioning on. So I got home, made an appointment with my doctor, and I could hardly speak. She was listening to my chest through my back, and she just said, "You are really sick." I'm going, "Oh, but I wanted sputum x-rays of every kind to find out exactly what it was that I was suffering from, and then I would deal with it myself. Now, she wrote out 3 scripts that I did not get filled. So this was a Thursday. I had all the x-rays, sputum, that kind of thing. She wrote out the scripts I did not fill. Saturday afternoon, Yah said to me, "Would you like me to put together a capsule?" And I said yes. So just a small amount on the fill side, and I took the first capsule, and I noticed, I got through it without any problem, but I noticed after about half an hour that I was breathing easier. Now, I took no more than 4 capsules. Yeah, I made them up a little bit more each time. So by the Saturday afternoon until the Monday, when I am going back for the second doctor's appointment with the results of the x-rays, etc., I took about 4 capsules. That was it. By the time I got back, I'd regained, I was as I sound now. She listened to me and she goes, "Oh my gosh," and says, "You are so much better. You are fine." And she said, what we are doing is working. And I said, "No, Katami, what I am doing is working." And I made her write down calcium hypochlorite. But what the x-rays and the sputum showed is that I had HIV. Now that is Haemophilus influenza type B bacteria, and it had become an infection. Now, left untreated, that can lead to meningitis or septicemia, and it can lead to death. So that's what the sputum showed, and then the x-rays showed that I actually had, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and my aorta was inflamed and all that kind of thing. So, she actually said that in the summary of the x-ray, the doctor had missed what she was seeing. But anyway, the main thing is HIV. That was the infection that I had. And so it was those 4 capsules of the calcium hypochlorite as my personal experience of getting rid of this bacteria that, left untreated, does lead to death, certainly in children, and that's why they have the childhood vaccine for the HIV. And she said something to me about the vaccine must have worn off as an adult all these years later. And anyway, long story short, I dealt with it myself. So again, anytime that I'm feeling like I need to, for example, I was away again in June of this year at my daughter's house again that had a lot of